Hello everyone, I just want to welcome you all to another episode of RG22 Outdoor Adventures. And this is going to be a Christmas special, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there. And I'm going to be building a crankbait, and we're going to do the crankbait in some Christmas colors. I think I'm going to do some red, some green, some pearl silver, pearl white, pearl gold for the scales, and then that's about it. So I've already got it drawn out. You guys saw that earlier. And it's time to actually get this on the bandsaw. We'll get the shape cut out, and then we'll get the diving lip slot cut out. I'm gonna do I thought about maybe doing a 45-degree lip, but I think I'm gonna do another 25-degree lip and see if we can get this thing to dive down a little bit deeper as well. And maybe it'll swim like this, kind of hit rocks, and maybe hopefully it doesn't get snagged up as much. So stay tuned, and we're gonna get over to the bandsaw. We're gonna start cutting, okay? All right, so let's get to cutting. Okay, there's our eye sockets drilled out. Some carving. So all we're going to do, we're just going to carve right along these lines right here.
All right, back to the carving. Some tear out, not a lot. Works for me. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so our initial carving is about done, and now I'm going to say it's probably time to start doing some sanding, and that's going to be the majority of the time that I'm going to have on this. That will be off camera. I don't think we need to show any sanding. Okay, so there we go. The carving's about done, and now it's time to start sanding. So I'm going to put this over in a vise. We'll do some sanding, okay? Okay, let's do the underneath. And then after that, it'll all be hand sanding from there. Wow, that looks pretty good.
Okay.
And there we go. There is the lure completely sanded. Now it's just a matter of finish sanding and getting it all refined. The edges nice and get it all nice and smooth. Okay, so welcome back everybody. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my line tie. The first hook hanger, the second hook hanger, the third one obviously is going over here. And then where do I want to put the weight to balance the ballast to balance this out? So it looks like it's going to go right about there. So let's figure out where we want to put all of our line ties, or our line tie, the hook hangers, and things like that. Okay, sorry. So the plan for this is we're obviously going to have a diving lip coming out. But I'm also going to have the line tie coming out through the bottom and up through the diving lip. Okay, so that's number one. So once we figure out where we want to put that in relation to the diving lip, then we know where to put everything else. So let's get our template out, which we made from on the last lure, and we're going to slide that in. Okay, get that all mocked up. So there's what the lure is going to look like. Okay. So now we can figure out how we want to work this line tie. So I think it's going to come out something like this, and that's going to come up. So we're going to want to put it right about there, somewhere in this vicinity here. Okay, so let's get our marker, if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it here. Hang on. There it is. Okay. So, since we're going to come straight out like this, and we're going to come up through here, so we're going to make that right about there. Okay? And when we drill it, we're going to drill it this way. So we need to get this all centered up. Make sure we have it in the center. Okay? So there. down the middle. Excellent, very good. Okay, so 10 inches. So I think it's about every 3 we mark the hook hanger. So 3 from here. That'll put us right to about there. And then we'll go another 3 to about there. And then the rest is going to be right here. Okay? So we're going to make those marks right about there, and then back here. So let's mark that. There. And there. Okay. So all of our hook hangers are marked. Excuse me. Now, we want to figure out where I want to put the lead hole. So I like doing my lead holes on a lot of these baits now. Instead of doing it in one area, I kind of like to spread it out a little bit. So we're going to spread it out between here. Now, if we hold it, since we got the diving lip in, so we know right about there is where we want to start. Sorry. So we're going to start there, or maybe about here. And then we're going to go to about, probably to about there. And all this is going to do is just going to keep the lure just sitting nice and straight. And basically the hooks that I'm going to use will probably do the same exact thing. But we're going to add a little bit of ballast to this. So we're going to go from here, this line right here that I drew right there, to there. And it's going to be the length of this Dremel, and we're going to go to that depth, maybe a little bit deeper. And then I'll show you guys, after we get the lead in, how I'm going to fill that hole in. We're going to actually use a piece of this wood, trim it down, sand it smooth. The idea is take your time. We want to try to keep this right in the middle. Okay, so so I was asked in a comment on my last video about how I got such a smooth finish on my plugs for my lead holes. Now on those lures, I didn't use any super glue or baking soda. I did a little bit maybe around here to fill the gap in, but other than that, that's all I did. So what you can see, I took a piece of scrap mahogany, so this is where all your scrap wood can come in handy. And I got the lead holes filled out. And then once that was filled, once I got the lead hole filled, I cut the wood to size, rounded out the edges with a carving knife or some sandpaper, and now I'm gonna super glue it into place. And then I might take a little bit of baking soda around here and get that all set up so all this gap is filled. I'm going to take these hook hangers out that I made, that I put in. They're only twisted in, just to kind of mock up everything and see how it all looks. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to carve all this out. Get it all sanded nice and smooth, and it should be good to go. So we're going to get started on that, okay? So you can see how it's done. So let's take some super glue. Let's put a bunch of super glue in here, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that. Lots and lots of super glue. Okay, there. We're going to take our plug that we made and we're going to put that in. Just like that, and that should dry up and it should make it stick. what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a little bit of baking soda just along the edge here. Okay, so basically that's it right there. So the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these hook hangers out. Okay, and then we're going to get this cut down. I'll show you that. All right, so now that I got the hook hangers out, we are going to start carving this out. Okay, so basically it's really simple. See how it just breaks right along the grain? And that's all we're going to do. Break it right along the grain, and then we can start carving it and getting it nice and flush. There. Oops, we went a little too much there, so shoot. Let's glue this in. Put some super glue. Along here. We'll redo it. Okay, there. How'd that break off? About like that, I think. Other way. Okay. So we're going to hold that still. Let that set. But anyways, usually it should break off in one easy thing when we carve it. So we can carve it just like that. Okay, we'll get it carved out. All right, so there it is right there. It's all cut nice and smooth, sanded, and in reality, you really can't tell. You can tell that's there, but if you ran your finger across it, you'd never know that it was there. So we're going to put a coat of finish on this, or sealant. I'm sorry. We're going to seal this lure now. Let it dry overnight, and then we'll come back, put it all together, and I think we'll probably start painting it. So we've got a lot of stuff done on this. I did some stuff off camera, did a lot of sanding, and then putting some finish on it. I then put in the hook hangers and then got the diving lip secured. And I also got the diving lip pinned. So now it's time to start painting. And we're going to do a Christmas type theme. Okay, our first color is going to be Wicked Opaque White. So I've been trying to decide what colors I want to use. I want to do a Christmas theme, and that's what we're going to do. So the Christmas colors are usually red and green. There's going to be white, pearl white, silver, and then or metallic gold. So I'm going to do green first, and I'm going to do the green right in this area here. I'm going to leave the head the way it is. But we're going to do a few different colors of green. First, I think we're going to do a fluorescent green. And then we're going to do this pearl green. So those are the two green colors we're going to use. And like I said, that's going to go right along the side. So we're going to get started on that right now. So first color is fluorescent green. Okay, so there's our fluorescent green. Right there. And we're going to let this dry for a couple minutes. And then we're going to go over most of this, except for way down here, in a pearl green. Okay, the next color is pearl green. And I'm going to try to get that to go all the way down the back here. And then I just want to come down the sides a little bit. And this is good. And this is just going to be our base coat. After that, I'm going to put a coat of clear on it. And then we're going to paint over the clear, and that's going to be our scales and all the detail work that we're going to do to this. Okay, so there we are. There's the green. Next, we're going to do a red head, and then we're going to do some black accents down the back and the sides using this ribbon here. Okay, so that's going to be the next step. So I'm going to get the airbrush cleaned off, and then we're going to get the head painted. Okay, so the next color is going to be Wicked Red, and that is just going to go right over in here. That's what we're going to do. I have a template I'm going to use, so hopefully this paint is nice and, yep, it's good and dry. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to take this template, and we're going to put this template. I have a pencil marked over here, and it's going to go right in the middle of the hook hanger. Just about like that. We're going to bring this down a little bit more. This is blue painter's tape that I'm using. Okay, good. Okay. There. Okay, so now I'm going to take the red and we're going to paint it right in here.
There we go. Okay, now we're going to get this dried off and we're going to do the other side. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll dry it off and then we'll unveil it and do the other side. Okay, so there's what it's going to look like. Now it's time to do the other side.
Okay, so there's our head. Little Christmassy colors. It's okay. There we go. Okay, so next we're going to use some black, and we're going to take this and we're going to put this right over the side here like that, and we're gonna paint some black in here. Okay, so we're gonna get that all taped up. So the next color we're going to use is going to be transparent black, and we're going to go over the back here and then down a little bit on the sides with this stencil. Okay, here we go. Let's get this all nice and stretched out. And all I want to do is just go right down the side, or right down the top. Very light. There we go. There we go. See? There we go. Excellent. Very good. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Pretty neat. Okay, so we're gonna kind of put this on the side right here, just like that. And this is probably all going to get covered up by scales. There, just like that. Okay. There we go. There. I think that looks pretty cool. Let's do the other side. Okay, and we want to go right about just like that. Okay. Yeah, we're going to stay right up above here and go just like that, there. And then I want to get right there. Okay. I like that. That looks pretty neat. Okay, so now that I've got that all done, the next step is going to be putting the clear coat over it. So we're going to put the clear coat over it, and then we're going to go over it all with the scale. Then we're going to do the scales. Okay, well, we're going to get started on painting the scales. Okay, here we go. Pearl white. Oh, I don't have that tape.
Oh well.
Okay, so I got a new color, and it's iridescent green. So I'm going to try this out, see how this looks, and I'm going to spray this across the top and maybe down the sides a little bit. Here we go. And we do the same thing going across this way. Ready? Let's do some painting.
There we go. Yep.
There. That looks pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see what this looks like. All right, unveiling the scales. Hopefully we like this. I'll be back. Okay, so the next color we're going to use is iridescent red. And that's going to be the head and the gills. And we're going to bring that all the way down here. That looks pretty cool. I like that. That looks really cool. All right, continuing on. Let's get that dried off. And I think we're going to call the head basically done. And next is, we're going to put some white in there, I think. We're getting Christmassy. Okay, so here we go. Never did this before, so this is all a first for me. I think what I want to do, I'm going to rest it up against this. And we're going to just remember where our gills are. There we go. That looks pretty good. Heck yeah. That looks pretty neat. I like that.
Okay.
There we go. I like that. That's a little Christmassy and festive, don't you think? Don't you think that's a little Christmassy and festive? I do. I really do. I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with this. Now we're gonna get some black and we'll do the accents in black. Okay, so next is some Wicked Opaque black, and we're gonna go along and make the gill accent. So now we just gotta get the stencil lined up, which I think we do. Let's just go a little bit, just like that. Here we go, nice and light. That's it. There we go. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of black in the eye socket. There we go. That looks awesome. Wow. Okay, here we go. Same way we did before. Yeah, see how nice and light? Okay, and then we're going to do a little bit in the eyes. Excellent. Okay, and now what's left is to unveil it. And there we go. Look at that. How awesome is that? That looks really good. And that's it. I'm going to call this lure painted and complete once we put the eyes in. We're going to go with silver. There we go. We're going to put that one in. There we go. There we go. There. Look at that. Mind. We'll put a date on it. So we'll do it in quotes. And yes. Merry Christmas. Okay. There we go. The completed lure. And now it's time to put some epoxy on it. So now we're going to do the epoxy, and it's a two-part epoxy. And like you've seen on all my other videos, I like to do it by weight. You can do it by volume, but I seem to get more accurate results when I am using a scale and doing it by weight. So this will be our first coat of epoxy. We'll let it dry, and then probably tomorrow we'll put the next coat on, and then we'll call the lure finished, and we'll see how it works. All right, well, folks, I'm gonna do some luring actions on this. It is like mid-December. There's no snow on the ground. It's really nice out, and I don't know if you guys can see that lure. It's got a really nice wiggle to it. Runs nice and straight. Floats. It dives. Has a nice float back up to the surface. So this is something you could use as a nice jerk bait. This thing casts. Okay, here we go. Nice cast. And let's reel it in. We'll give it a rip. Another rip. Another rip. And then let's bring it up to you guys here. Oh, it had a nice little dive to it. And there's the lure in action. Runs great. Okay, so here's the lure. And I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And stay tuned for some more videos over the next coming 2024.